Hey guys, it's Claire from Honestly Ophelia Vintage, and I am here with a sales update. These are some sales from Etsy and eBay, starting with the very tail end of the month of November and leading up until just a few days ago, actually. So these are sales that are basically a lot of Christmas gifts. Etsy now has the feature where you can see if something is being given as a gift because the buyer will mark it gift. And that has indicated to me that actually a lot of my things are, in fact, going out probably for Christmas. So that's exciting, and it's just kind of fun to learn and see what is successfully selling as a Christmas gift, and then just keep that in the back of your head for next year. So in this video, I'll just be sharing with you how much I paid for these items, where I found them, how much I sold them for, and try to tell you if I would do it again. Some items are definitely better than others, but you have to learn as you go, right? Okay, so let's just jump in here. I'll start with my Etsy sales. The first one I have here is this Beatrix Potter Eden stuffed animal. This is Lady Mouse. So I got a huge lot of these stuffed animals from a collector at a garage sale. So she had about 12 or 13 Eden vintage stuffed animals, all Beatrix Potter characters. And I've just been slowly working my way through them. I have some more to list, but the ones that I've listed so far have been doing pretty well. So I paid about $4 for each of these stuffed animals. And let me look at my notes here. This one sold for $18.69 plus shipping. So when you hear those odd numbers, like they're not, a nice rounded out number, that probably means that my shop was having a sale when they bought it. Okay, these were something that I actually got from my dad, who finds a lot of nice jewelry or things like that, and he will let me either buy them from him in bulk or sometimes he just gives them to me to resell. So these are sterling silver vintage earrings. They are kind of like a fan shape with this beautiful filigree work. These did take a little while to sell, surprisingly, but they did sell for $17.84. And if I paid him, I don't remember if I paid him for these or not, but if I did, they wouldn't have been more than about $2 maybe. Okay, this was a fun one. If you go back to my haul video, I have a bunch of Christmas items that I actually got, and this was one of them. This was 99 cents at a little charity shop not far from my home, and it sold for $34.99 plus shipping. I love these vintage ornaments and decorations, and they actually are fairly easy to find, so keep an eye out for them. It was a little tricky to box it up and ship it out safely, but I didn't have any complaints from my buyer, so I'm assuming that it made there safe and sound. So, all right, this little guy is a vintage Fitz and Floyd Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He was hand painted, made in Japan, and I got him for about 25 cents at a St. Vincent de Paul store. And I sold him for, let's see, $14.99 plus shipping. So just really cute. And the funny thing is that a lot of people overlook the small items. They don't see them. They don't think that they're that interesting, or maybe they just don't think they're worth that much. But the fun thing is then you can find them for not a lot of money and you can sell them, So 25 cents into $14.99, that's a good flip. All right, these vintage Lisa Frank kaleidoscopes, they sat around for forever. They've been in my store a long time and they finally sold. They had so many likes and favorites and people looking at them. And they finally sold. I paid 25 cents for each of them, so 50 cents total. And I sold them for $8.46 plus shipping. All right, this is a really interesting item and it sold fairly quickly. At first, I didn't know if this was a collar bar or a tie bar. I had to actually ask in some jewelry groups on Facebook, and they told me that it was a collar bar. The young man who actually bought it from me told me he thought it was a tie bar. So the debate is still going. But anyways, I don't remember how much I paid for this. It might have come in a jewelry jar or likely in an auction lot. So it probably wouldn't have been more than $1 or $2. And this sold for $18.74 plus shipping. This angel brooch that says my sister, my friend, it's kind of funny. This is something that I just experimented with. I actually didn't know if it would sell, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try it. I think it's a little cheesy for my taste, but someone out there loved it and wanted it for a gift. It did sit for a while, but it sold for, let's see here, $7.46, and I paid about a quarter because it came in a huge lot of jewelry. So this was a good find. This was a vintage Snoopy cookie jar. It was obviously vintage from the base. You could see was covered in this green felt. And he was pretty small, actually. Yeah, you can see here, he's not very big. But this was, again, marked as a gift, so hopefully someone is going to love this for Christmas. I paid $2 at a thrift store, and I sold it for $42.46 plus shipping. I was happy with that one. All right, I ventured into handkerchiefs. I usually do pretty well with scarves, but handkerchiefs are kind of new for me. So this was one from my aunt. It's a novelty print. Novelty print means essentially anything that's not, geometric pattern or like polka dots or stripes. It's got characters on it. It's got people. It's got animals. It's got, some kind of picture of something unique. So this one had like cactuses and the cows in the background and the cowboy and the cowgirl. And this actually sold for $18.74 plus shipping. All right, another Vera Newman scarf. This one is Christmas design. Here's her signature in the bottom corner. And this one I thought was just really pretty. So I did mark it high, and then when it went on sale, it sold for, let me look at my sheet here, $17.99. If you hear that purring, that's my cat. He's running around, and I don't know if the microphone will pick up on that or not. Okay. These rooster napkin rings were actually from a giveaway that I had won from Margaret at Texas Gal Treasures. She sent out like a mystery box full of goodies that you won if you commented on her post or something like that. So thank you to Margaret for sending these cool napkin rings. They did sell, and they sold for $24.99 plus shipping. So I was really happy with that. They were just kind of cool, like copper toned. And I put, the kind of keywords were like farm animals, birds, kitchen decor, that kind of thing. So very cool. And then this was 25 cents. I want to say I picked this up at a bin store where you like root through all the bins and find stuff. So it was about 25 cents. It's from Annie the musical, and it was from 1982. It says you're never fully dressed without a smile, and it's kind of cute. I've never actually seen Annie, but I know people are pretty devoted to it. So it sold for $15.99, and it went to a town about 40 minutes away from me. So that was kind of cool. All right, and then this apple brooch was an item that I got at a church rummage sale. I put that I paid $1, but I probably paid less because it was one of those things where you just fill your bag with stuff and then go pay for it in bulk. So it was really pretty, kind of had like this sparkly sheen to it, and it sold very quickly. It was only listed for, a week or two. So I put, gift for teacher, something like that in the title. And this sold for $16.95 plus shipping. All right, and then my last item is the vintage Big Hug mug. These are apparently made popular from the TV series True Detective with Matthew McConaughey. It was made in Korea, so it's definitely vintage. And I just found another one of these. This one actually has a chip right here, which I did make sure to mention in my description down below. And I priced accordingly because most of the other mugs were marked higher than this, but I sold mine for $14.99 because I thought, it's got the chip. But I just found another one that was in perfect condition, so I'm excited for that. All right. So that is it for my Etsy sales. Now on to eBay. I've been dabbling a little bit more in clothing. I am not super, knowledgeable as far as the clothing goes. But I just thought, this is pretty. I'm going to give it a shot. So here is an extra large women's sweater. This is kind of Christmassy. I took a best offer of $15 plus shipping. I think I paid around $4 for it. So not a huge profit, but kind of fun to sell some clothing for once. So, all right. My husband and I have been going to estate sales and I am loving it. This was in an estate sale at a very high-end, fancy schmancy neighborhood. And honestly, I didn't find a lot of big items. I was going through the house and I was like, they have everything marked pretty high. I don't know that I'm going to find anything. But then I went to the bathroom and they had a lot of small items in the bathroom that hadn't been found, or, maybe people just don't think they're that interesting. I don't know. So this was marked $5. It's an Estee Lauder perfume body powder, sorry. And it was sealed. It was not opened. I probably wouldn't buy it if it was opened. I just think that's kind of gross. But because it was unopened, I bought it. And it was $5 and it sold, this is not the correct price. It sold for $49.95. I took a best offer. And that really only was up for a few days as well. So I was really happy with that. Another Vera Newman scarf. Again, I took a best offer for this. I probably paid $1 because I think I bought this scarf in a lot of 2 or 3 other ones. And let's see, this one sold for $11.99 on best offer. Just really pretty, had like all these cool butterflies. I hadn't seen one like this before, and it was cotton, just kind of cool for Vera. All right, and the last ones that I'm going to show you are 3 jewelry lots that I sold. So basically, with jewelry, you're going to get some good stuff and some not so good stuff. And when you buy it in bulk, especially, you have a lot of stuff that just isn't really worth the time and the energy and the effort to try to resell. So what I do is I just take that junk kind of jewelry and I put it together and I stick it on eBay and call it, a crafting lot for repurposing, and try to take good pictures of it. But in reality, there's not that much jewelry here. It's like a small pile like that, maybe around a pound. But this one sold for $7.99. This one sold for $7.49. And this one sold for $7.49 as well. So I think that people just take these, they repurpose them. Maybe they're reselling some of it if they think it looks good enough to resell. But personally, I just try to be really selective and pick out things that I think will sell for a good price. And then the rest, I've lotted all together. So yeah, I sold 3 of these very quickly, and that was kind of nice to just start clearing out the overload of jewelry inventory that I have. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you're all having a wonderful Christmas season, and I'm excited for plans for the new year for my store. If you're interested, I'll show you. Here is the name of my store, Honestly Ophelia Vintage. Go and head over and check it out and favorite my shop if you feel like it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, guys, and Merry Christmas.